That's weird.
It is. I even did it with an effect and everything. I have worked so hard. Hi, everybody.
What's up, nerds?
Sup?
How's it go?
My head's cut off.
Yeah, I'm fixing it.
Oh, look at that.
Make it smaller,
I am.
but faster.
Make me hotter.
Yeah, I want to be pretty.
Give me a beard.
No.
Ooh. Yeah.
Done.
Mohawk.
There, your head's not cut off anymore.
Hey, Bleak.
What's that?
Oh, blinking.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
Hey, Blinken.
All right. Well, hello. Let's go around. Tell everyone who you are.
No, you're doing things out of order. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Trashterpiece Theater.
Trashterpiece.
How's
It's
everyone?
not the same without a Chavers in the house.
That's true.
We're doing our story tonight. We're doing the day.
Doing
You do it. You do it.
the day the earth stood still.
Ba, 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 ba.
You guys, this is legitimately one of my favorite classic sci-fi movies ever made. It's one of the best. If you've never seen it, watch it. It's so good.
It's real good. There's a few.
Oh shit! Hold on. Hold on. What just happened?
Hey,
That was weird.
whoa!
Whoa!
Look, it's Zoom, but like the wrong Zoom.
What just happened?
You broke it. You disappeared.
Yeah, it closed
done-
it
you
and
done-
then it
you-
turned back on.
Yeah, you done fucked up. That's all.
How'd you
That's
do
fine.
that?
No, literally, just Zoom stopped, and I was like,
Oh,
Well, like I was saying, there's a few ways for you to interact with the show. For $10, you can assign an accent or impression to one of us. For
no.
$15, you can assign a pick a tune. We're probably going to remove that one because nobody ever uses it. And for $20, you can do the same thing as the $10 one, but we'll do it as a group for 2 pages. So if whoever's in this 2 pages will all do the accent or song, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And for accents and impressions, we've also gotten some really fun situational ones, like guy who's a little bit drunk, or someone who really has to pee, or whatever. So you can also think about situational type characters. Those
Yeah,
work
it's
too.
fun. It's fun.
Only
Be
thing we
creative.
want to avoid is things that would make us not actually say the words in the script, like Beaker from Muppets or something like that.
Or the Swedish Chef.
Oh, the
He's
Swedish-
come up more than once.
Something like that. But as long as we can say the words, then you know we'll do it.
Rusty Tooth says, "Don't watch the Keanu Reeves version." I tried to warn.
All right.
Oof.
Now we can do the thing that Ryan wanted to do.
okay. I am Ryan. I
Sup?
will be playing host Irving Cummings, man, Bobby Benson, Helen's son, Harley, commentator, Colonel Ryder, voice, and first British, Indian, voice, and officer.
Nice.
Nice.
Well,
And I'm Chunk. I'm playing Art Linkletter, second announcer, narrator, Tom Stevens, Mrs. Crockett, Professor Barnhart, Brady, radio voice, Army, the whole army, and second British person.
hooray! Hi everybody. I'm
More. And soldier.
Oh, I see. I'm Cucumber. I'm playing announcer Ken Carpenter. Singers, all of them apparently. Klaatu, fucking Klaatu.
Welcome.
If you didn't know, I'm also playing General Cutler, and Russian, and American, and newscaster.
And I'm Corey. I'll be playing Francis Scully, Gloria Gordon, a child, which is, Helen Benson, Hilda, and third British.
Third British.
Third British.
Perfect.
Oh, look, Justin's in the chat. Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
I was bummed that he wasn't here tonight because I wanted to ask him how his baseball thing went.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'll have to wait till next week. You can
His
tell me
baseball thing.
a baseball thing he was so excited about.
How did that end? The baseball thing.
Yeah, like what happened?
I
Like,
feel like we're gonna hear a door slam through the chat.
Gay.
Oh, thank you for the donation already. A random
Oh.
turnip. Since Chunk says people don't do pick a tune, the Sesame the Sesame at theme song for my blue friend?
I'm assuming he meant
I
street.
can do that.
What?
Huh?
I'm saying I'm assuming he meant street.
Sesame Street.
Yeah, because you said sesame at. And the fact that I clarified and actually enlightened you worries me. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Ooh. Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
You ready?
Yeah,
we're ready.
I'm ready.
The day the Earth stood still.
Yeah.
This is Lux Radio Theater. The day the Earth stood still, January 4th, 1954.
Oh, it's me. Lux presents Hollywood. Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, brings you the Lux Radio Theater starring Michael Rennie and John Peters, or Gene Peters, in The Day the Earth Stood Still. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. Irving Cummings.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. There is an ever-present question that has puzzled and intrigued our world for centuries. Is there life on any other planet? So, in tonight's play, we will tell you of a possible momentous event in our future, the arrival on this planet of a man from outer space, the day the Earth stood still. And as our stars of this provocative drama from 20th Century Fox, we have one of their fastest rising stars, Michael Rennie, co-starring with our outstanding actress, Gene Peters. Now, before raising the curtain on Day the Earth Stood Still, starring Michael Rennie and Gene Peters, here is Ken Carpenter.
I don't know about you, but exhausted as I am from the holidays, I still hate to admit that they're really over. But maybe some of the ladies don't quite feel the same way. You probably never want to see another dish or glass that needs to be washed, fuck. On the other hand, perhaps you are as lucky as the Carpenters. We had plenty of new Lux Liquid detergent on hand. Yes, ma'am. With Lux Liquid, you really get rid of messy dishes fast and easy. Put 1 teaspoon of Lux Liquid into the dishpan and the dishes literally soak clean. Just rinse, stack, and you're done. Lux Liquid's special formula actually dissolves the grease right off the plate. And yet it's mild on your hands. Lux Mild. And the can it comes in is something out of the ordinary, too. It's unbreakable, and it has a wonderful new dripless spout that ends messy handling. Added to all this, Lux Liquid is really thrifty. Just 1 teaspoonful will do a dishpan full, and it's been proven one can outlast several boxes of the leading laundry power. Yes, Lux Liquid is truly the next best thing to a dishwashing machine, as good for dishes as Lux Flakes are for nylons. And there just isn't any other care like Lux Flakes care for nylons. It can really double the wear you get in every pair. No matter what anyone says, remember, 96% of stocking manufacturers recommend Lux Flakes Care. And like all Lever Brothers products, Lux Liquid and Lux Flakes are unconditionally guaranteed to be all they're promised or your money back.
Now, Act 1 of Day the Earth Stood Still, starring Michael Rennie as Klaatu and Gene Peters as Helen Benson.
Oh yeah, Chunk, weren't you supposed to be singing?
Yeah, bitch, I haven't said a word yet.
Okay, never mind. Somebody's yelling. Oh, Tiger on set.
It was... Fuck, this is hard. It was a pleasant spring day.
Da da da.
There it is. Thank you, that first part. It was a pleasant spring day, and a deal walk for the park, and a day to push the baby buggy, and by God you are alive. There have been at least 20 such sparkling days that spring, and perhaps a billion more, and more of them since the earth begun. And nothing had ever happened to spoil them but a few small fires. Is that it for the song? A slight head, cold in the evening, or a rain squall this spring day in the middle of marvelous 20th century. It was the most different day that happened to mankind since the first Christmas.
Beep, 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 beep.
The spring was noticed in Hong Kong first on the British radar.
Oh, but that's impossible. That thing must be doing about 4,000.
That can't be aircraft, sir. Must be the buzz bomb.
Better give an alarm. Keep it steady, though. Maybe faulty equipment.
What's that first part again?
Da-da.
The British radar in Hong Kong was faulty. It was the radar of the Orient and Asia and Europe. So the announcers on the radio.
This is Moscow.
This is Caliper, India.
This is Radio Luxembourg.
Ba-da-da-da.
Da, 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 da.
American radar formed the fact that there was nothing wrong with the British radar, and there was something very gravely wrong 40 miles out in space, far above the Earth.
Look to net Ferris to Baker. Ferris to Baker, I have an object at 200,000 feet, 4000 miles an hour.
Then it was there, incredibly, it was there, burning through the sky over Washington, hovering over the mall, descending.
They're here. They've come. They're here. They're here.
Tweet, 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 tweet.
Not a sound, stillness, not a move from the cordon of tanks and armored cars in a full battle dress. Not a sound or gesture from the monstrous doom disc resting on the grass.
The ship designed for travel outside the Earth's atmosphere landed at Washington today at 3:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We still do not know where it came from. The ship is now resting exactly where it landed 2 hours ago. So far, there is no sign of life from inside the ship. Behind the cordon of troops, tanks, and artillery is a huge crowd of curiosity seekers. Every eye, every weapon is trained on the ship. The atmosphere is one of terrific tension rather than of fear. It's been that way for... Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I think something's happening. The spaceship is opening up. Someone is coming out. La, 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 la. Ooh,
Keep calm, everybody. Don't get excited. Keep calm. Quiet now.
A wedge is open in the smooth, unbroken metal skin of the spaceship. A ramp slithers out on the grass against the neary glow of an earthly light. From the inside of the spaceship stands the spaceman. He is a man entirely like ourselves. He wears a close fit in a suit like a deep-sea diver's armor, but of alien material. A spherical helmet entirely conceals his head. He holds up his hand. He is going to speak.
We have come to visit you in peace and with goodwill. Receive me as a friend.
I feel uneasy. Kind of murmuring. Here he comes, men. Watch it. Keep that bot trained on him.
He's going for something in his tunic, sir.
Quiet!
It's a ray gun or something. I'm gonna let him have it.
No, wait! Oh, he's down! Pull back that crowd. Everybody back! Your wound doesn't look too bad. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have gone for that ray gun.
It was not a weapon.
He understands us.
It was a gift for your president. With it, you might have studied life on other planets.
What's bothering the crowd, Lieutenant? Tell him to... Oh no. Oh no.
A nightmare stands on the ramp leading out of the spaceship. A mechanical giant, monstrous, a metal and menace, with a visor in his helmet, lifting slowly, revealing a dreadful light. Boiling with that metal head, and suddenly out of that incandescence, a narrow ray. Rifles, tanks, artillery glow with that terrible incondense and become vapor and mush of huddle steel. And then in the deathly silence that follows, the robot strides down the ramp. The Avenger. From where? Dun, dun, dun.
Gort, Deglato Frosco. He won't hurt you now.
Let's get you to the hospital.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
The doctors here tell me your wound is not serious.
No, it amazes them that it's almost healed already.
I'm very glad.
It should serve as some sort of indication of our powers.
Well, my name is Harley, secretary to the president. I've been told to speak our language fluently. That your name is Mr. Klaatu?
Just Klaatu.
Oh, well, the president has asked me to convey our deepest apologies for what has happened.
Sit down, Mr. Harley.
I'm sure I don't have to point out that your arrival was something of a surprise. You have been traveling long?
About 5 months. Your months.
You must have come a long way.
About 250 million of your miles.
Naturally, we're very curious to know where you're come from.
From another planet. Let's just say that we're neighbors.
Well, it's rather difficult for us to think of another planet as a neighbor.
I'm afraid in the present situation you'll have to learn to think that way.
The present situation?
I mean, the reasons for my coming here.
Well, would you care to talk about that?
Not now, nor with you alone.
Perhaps you'd rather discuss it personally with the president?
I want to meet with the representatives from all the nations of the Earth.
I'm afraid that would be a little awkward.
Why?
In view of the tensions and suspicions in our world today, such a meeting would be impossible.
Mr. Harley, my mission here concerns the existence of every last creature who lives on Earth. It must not be complicated by the childish jealousies, intrigues, suspicions of your planet.
Problems are very complex. You mustn't judge us too harshly.
I'm impatient with stupidity. My people have learned to live without it.
The president will, of course, do his best to bring about the meetings you desire. I know it will be quite useless. I wish it were otherwise. I'm very sorry, Mr. Klaatu.
Wait. Before making any grave decisions, I think I should get out among your people and become familiar with the basis of these strange, unreasoning attitudes.
Our military people insist that you do not attempt to leave the hospital. The door will be locked. I'm sure you understand. Good day, Mr. Klaatu.
The door will be locked. Will it now?
Klaatu escaped, nor could the embarrassing news of his disappearance be long suppressed. It was read about in the papers and described in excited tones over the radio.
The authorities at Walter Reed Hospital still refuse to comment on how he managed to escape, except to say that he broke into a hospital locker and stole clothing belonging to a staff doctor. While the government does not minimize the crisis, it urges people all over the world to remain calm and further advises that the facilities of all federal agencies are being brought to bear.
Tommy says, just terrible. This was the latest and only news. Among the countless millions listening, there were 2 women and a boy in an ordinary home on an ordinary street in Washington. Mrs. Crockett's rooming house. There was Mrs. Crockett's and Helen Benson and little Bobby Benson.
We are warned, however, that this is no ordinary manhunt, and we may be up against powers that are beyond our control or understanding, and that we...
And Chunk, you have man or Muppet?
Yes, I'm the fuzzy one.
Yep.
Ryan's the fuzzy one? I'm the fuzzy one?
You were the fuzzy one.
Yeah.
Oh, I just can't stand any more of this.
Oh, I wanted to hear more, Mrs. Crockett.
Me too.
It's exciting, isn't it, Mother?
Hush, Bobby.
Exciting isn't enough to drive a person. Oh, who are you?
I'm sorry. I saw your sign outside and the door was open. My name is Carpenter.
Yes?
I'm looking for a room.
Oh, yes. Or do I have nice room? This doesn't work.
Are you a G-man?
No, I'm afraid not.
I bet he is, Mom. I bet he's looking for that spaceman.
I think we've all been hearing too much about spacemen, Mr. Carpenter.
This is Mr. Benson, Mr. Carpenter,
How do you do?
and this little Bobby is my youngest guest. Miss Crockett. You're a long way from home, aren't you, Mr. Carpenter?
How did you know?
Oh, I can't tell a New England accent every time. This is the way, Mr. Carpenter.
Eggs, bacon, coffee.
A paper? Newspaper rustle.
And so, this Sunday morning, we asked the question that has been plaguing the entire world for 2 days now. Where is the creature? What has it been up to?
Eat your cereal, Bobby.
Mom, I'm almost full already.
Bobby?
Okay, Mr. Carpenter.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Crockett. Please go on reading.
Creature, what is he up to? Or if he could build a spaceship that can fly to Earth, and that robot that can destroy our tanks and guns without other terrors he can unleash at will.
What a man.
Obviously, we must track down this monster and destroy him before he destroys us. Correct. Then why don't they do it?
This space fan, or whatever he is, we automatically assume he's a menace. Maybe he isn't after all.
Well, then where is he? Mrs. Benson, what is he up to?
Maybe he's afraid.
He's afraid.
Well, after all, he was shot the minute he landed here. I just was wondering what I'd do.
Perhaps before deciding upon a course of action, you'd want to know more about the people here.
Nothing strange about Washington.
A person from another planet might disagree with you.
It's all right, Mrs. Crockett. That's Mr. Stevens calling for me. I'll go to the door.
That awful robot standing there like an ugly iron statue. It gives me shivers.
Dracula for Ryan.
You got it.
I don't know why I was...
Morning, Tom.
Well, hello there, Helen. Hey, can anybody see us?
No.
So, all right, we're all set. I picked up some good sandwiches and put the gas in the car. And then the radio's busted, so we can forget about this spaceman for a day, huh?
I haven't been able to arrange for anyone to stay with Bobby. Mrs. Crockett's going out, and I don't suppose we could take him with us.
We could.
Just today. Mrs. Crockett has plans, and I don't know who else to ask.
I haven't any plans.
Oh, Mr. Carpenter.
I'd be glad to spend the day with Bobby if you'd let me.
Great, thanks.
Different time.
Well, it's very nice of you to offer. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Carpenter. This is Tom Stevens.
Hi.
How do you do?
That's
Bobby and
labeled
I...
wrong, by the way.
Huh? What?
That's labeled wrong, by the way.
Which is... All right, well,
Forget it.
okay. How do you do? Bobby and I had a fine time yesterday afternoon. I thought he might show me around the city today.
Well,
Please, I'd enjoy it.
Tweet.
And this is where my father is buried.
Yikes.
Robert Benson, Virginia, 1st Lieutenant, 45th Infantry. April 10th, 1916, January 29th, 1944.
Your father was very young, wasn't he, Bobby?
He was killed in Anzio.
Did all these people here die in wars?
Most of them. Didn't you ever hear of Arlington Cemetery?
Cemetery? I'm afraid not.
You don't know. You don't seem to know much about anything, Mr. Carpenter. What is it?
Messy Monty says you sound like the fake yacht owner from Some Like It Hot. Oh, shit. I've been far away, Bobby.
But don't they have places like this where you've been?
Not like this one. You see, they don't have any wars. Let's walk.
Right.
What would you like to do now?
I'd like to go to the movies.
All right.
No fooling.
No fooling. Do you have to have money to go there?
Yes. Well, I've got $2. One, two, I'll treat you, okay?
No, I want to take you. Look, do you think they'd accept these?
Gee. What are they? Diamonds?
Well, in some places, these are what people use for money. They're easy to carry and they don't wear out.
I'll bet they're worth $1 million.
Would you give me your $2 for 2 of these?
Sure, okay.
There you are.
Let's not say anything to Mom about this, huh?
Why not?
Well, she doesn't like me taking advantage of people. Hey, before we go to the movies, would you like to see the Abraham Lincoln Memorial?
Thank you. Yes, I would. Ba 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 ba.
Well, this is it. That's the Gettysburg speech up there.
Okay, wait. A random turn up. Thank you for the donation. Cucumber sing to the tune of Edge of Night, Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
How does it start?
That is
You watched that movie
that
before?
this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom and the government of the people. By the people. No, I went into fucking the mountain song from the Dwarfs. Hold on. Home is behind the world ahead. No, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a night.
All right, this is a nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom and that government of the people. By the people and for the people shall not perish from the earth. Those are great words.
That's some statue.
That is the kind of man I'd like to talk to. Fuck. Bobby, who is the greatest man in America today?
Gee, I don't know. The spaceman, I guess.
I was speaking of Earthman.
Oh, I don't know. The president?
I mean the greatest philosopher, the greatest thinker, scholar.
Oh, well, that's Professor Barnhart, I guess.
Yes! Professor Barnhart!
Department of Commerce. She's a secretary. Why?
What?
You skipped
Oh
things.
shit, I did skip. I'm sorry. He's the greatest scientist in the world. He lives right here in Washington, right near where my mother works.
Where is that?
In the Department of Commerce. She's a secretary. Why?
I have an idea, Bobby. Let's go see Professor Barnhart.
What for?
Shut up, Rusty Tooth. Who just said he's the greatest man in America.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Wouldn't you like to meet him? It's a really short song, you guys. I got nowhere to go.
No, you're right. Yeah. Well, sure I would. Oh, go on. I bet you'd be scared.
Maybe we can scare him more than he can scare us.
I like you, Mr. Carpenter. You're a real screwball.
Was that 10?
What?
That's close to 10, I think. I don't know. Was it?
I don't know.
1, 2,
I wasn't.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you're
You're clear.
That's sweet.
Gee.
Thank you. That was fun.
Gee. Maybe the professor isn't home.
Let's take a look through that window.
Bet this is where he works. Look in there. Books all over. Blackboard's full of stuff. Oh. Aw. Door's locked too.
Is it? Why, no, it isn't, Bobby.
Well, that's funny.
We'll go in and wait for him. I'm sure he won't mind.
Gee, just think. All the brains that goes on in here. What's all this stuff on the blackboard?
It's a problem in celestial mechanics.
What's the matter?
He'll never get the answer that way. Let's see.
Oh, hey, it says don't erase, don't touch.
This is right. Check. Correct. Correct. And here's where he gets off the track. Well, we'll fix that. So. So.
You must be an arithmetics teacher, I bet.
I'm going to differentiate the equation. There.
Who are you?
Uh-oh.
How dare you come in like this? How dare you write on that blackboard? Do you realize the professor's been working on that problem for weeks?
I'll solve it in no time now.
What do you want?
We came to see Professor Barnhart.
Well, he's not here, and he won't be back until evening. I think you'd better leave.
Will you tell him that Mr. Carpenter was here, 1615 M Street Northwest? I think he'll want to talk to me.
Indeed.
Thank you. Oh, it may have entered your mind to erase what I've written on the blackboard.
It certainly has.
I wouldn't do that. The professor needs it very badly. Come on, Bobby.
Choo-choo.
Carpenter, 1615 M Street, Northwest Carpenter, M Street. Operator, give me the police.
Act 2 of The Day the Earth Stood Still in a few moments after we see if Francis Scully has any big news for us tonight.
Oh, I do, Ken, about a big man in a big picture. The picture is Warner Brothers' Wayne Fellows production Hondo in 3D.
And the big man must be John Wayne, even bigger in 3D.
Oh, and better than ever, too. For his leading lady, John drew one of last year's most talked about and talented Broadway actresses, Geraldine Page.
Oh, yes. Hondo is her first Hollywood picture, isn't it?
That's right.
And isn't that the one that was filmed in the very... and isn't that the one that was filmed in the really wild part of Mexico?
Camargo, Mexico, Ken, where it's hot as well as wild. In the picture, John plays a part Indian dispatch rider for the U.S. Cavalry around 1817. Geraldine is lovely as the woman he falls in love with.
Ah, she's a fine actress. Knows a good thing when she sees it, too, because she's a real... Lux Girl. You'll be getting in on a good thing, too, once you use mild and gentle Lux toilet soap. 9 out of 10 Hollywood stars like Geraldine Page have found that, really, there's no soap quite like Lux. And now our producer, Mr. Cummings.
Act 2 of The Day the Earth Stood Still, starring Michael Rennie as Klaatu and Jean Peters as Helen Benson.
It is the early evening of the same day. Tom Stevens and Helen Benson drive up to the boarding house after the picnic, quite unaware of the dark squad carp a few feet ahead. Well, here we are.
Thank you, Tom. It was a wonderful day.
You still haven't answered my question.
Oh, you know how I feel, Tom, but I still want time to think it over.
If I could only tell the boss I was getting married and acquiring 2 dependents.
You're a good salesman.
A good salesman wouldn't give you time to think about it.
Good night.
Didn't you forget something? No good night.
Good night.
Night.
Mr. Carpenter.
Hi, Mom.
Hello, darling.
Mrs. Benson, this is Mr. Brady.
How do you do?
Oh, how do you do?
Mr. Brady's a government agent.
Oh, did you have a nice day, Bobby?
We had a swell time, didn't we, Mr. Carpenter?
Yes, we did.
We went to the movies, we had a banana split, and went to see Daddy.
Oh, I don't know how to thank you, Mr. Carpenter.
I enjoyed every minute of it.
We better get going.
Yes, good night, Bobby.
Good night.
I'll tell you the rest of that story tomorrow. Good night, Mrs. Benson.
Good night.
Nice meeting you, Miss Benson.
Thank you.
Why did Mr. Carpenter have to go with Mr. Brady?
I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake. Upstairs with you.
Yeah. We sure had fun today. We went all over Washington and went to see Professor Barnhart.
Professor Barnhart?
Oh, sure.
Barnhart. Up to bed now. Pronto.
Oh, crap. Is this the man you wanted to see, Professor Barnhart? Oh, thank you, Brady. If I may speak to you, Mr. Carpenter, alone, please. I'll wait outside, Professor. You are Mr. Carpenter?
Yes, Professor.
Who wrote those equations on my blackboard?
My clumsy way of introducing myself.
Forgive the manner in which you were picked up. Hilda called the police before I saw your annotations on the board.
I appreciate the need for security, Professor.
I have not quite fathomed the problem, even with your remarkable assistance, Mr. Carpenter.
Well, let's look at it, sir. All you have to do now is substitute this expression at this point.
Yes, that will reproduce the first order term, but what about the effect of the other terms?
Negligible. With variation of parameters, this is the answer.
How can you be so sure? Have you tested this theory?
I find it works well enough to get me from one planet to another.
Klaatu!
I spent 2 days at your Walter Reed Hospital. I was interviewed. I also,
No proof. This blackboard is proof.
If you're not interested, or if you intend to turn me over to the army, we needn't waste any more time.
Interested? Will you excuse me one moment, please? Mr. Brady, you may go now. Please thank General Cutler and tell him that I know just this gentleman. So much for that, Klaatu. Please sit down.
You have faith, Professor.
Faith and curiosity. Do sit down. I have several thousand questions to ask you.
I would like to explain my mission here.
That is my first question.
It was my hope to discuss this officially with all the nations of the world. I was not allowed the opportunity. Now we know from scientific observation that your planet has discovered a rudimentary kind of atomic energy. We also know that you're experimenting with rockets.
Yeah, that is true. Well, what exactly is the nature of your mission?
To warn you that your planet faces danger. What I have to say may be said to all concerned. I come to you as a last resort. Must I take drastic action in order to get a hearing?
What sort of action do you mean?
Violent action? Perhaps leveling the island of Manhattan? Or toppling the Rock of Gibraltar into the sea? Well?
Would you, for example, be willing to meet with a group of scientists I'm calling together? We're having our first meeting tonight. Perhaps you could explain your mission to them. Or they in turn could present it to their various peoples.
That is what I came to see you about.
One thing, Klaatu. Suppose this group should reject your proposals. What's the alternative?
There is no alternative, Professor. In such a case, the planet Earth would have to be eliminated.
Such power exists?
I assure you, such power exists.
The scientists who are attending these meetings have come here from all over the world. This power you speak of, they must be made to realize that it exists. Now, you mentioned a demonstration of force.
Yes,
Something would affect the entire planet?
that can be arranged.
Perhaps a little demonstration.
Something dramatic, but not destructive. It's quite an interesting problem. Would tomorrow be all right?
If you say so.
Say about noon?
Then tomorrow at noon. Good.
Going out tonight, Mrs. Benson?
Oh, it's you, Mr. Carpenter.
I'm afraid I startled you.
Yes, I am going out. Mr. Stevens is calling for me.
Everyone seems so...
Jittery is the word.
Bobby's the only person I know who isn't, jittery. He's a fine boy, Mrs. Benson.
Naturally, I think so.
Warm, friendly, intelligent. He's the only real friend I've made since I've been here.
Mr. Carpenter, this is none of my business, but why did that detective come here last night? That Mr. Brady?
Bobby and I tried to see Professor Barnhart in the afternoon, but he wasn't in. Apparently they thought I was looking for secrets of some kind.
Oh, thank you for the donation. A random turn up. Chunk said no one does Picatoon just to go folks in a day. I think we're just saying empty chairs at empty tables.
Les Miserables.
I know, but I don't know that song really well.
Is that right if she does another Les Miserables or melody or medleys of Les Miserables?
So the only part of that song that I know is empty chairs at empty tables. So you're just going to hear that a bunch. Or
The only thing I remember of Man and a Muppet was, Am I a man?
And the only thing I remembered of Sesame Street was Sunny Day.
Well, I was in my head. I was going.
Sesame.
Random turn up says yes. Les Miserables style.
Yeah, he's something musical.
All right. So you have all of Les Mis to fuck with. You're fine. Good luck.
what's the
And go.
what's the alto one that she sings? No.
Oh,
What's the one? What's the alto one that she
Are
sings?
you talking about Eponine?
on my own?
Yeah. Oh, that must be Tom now. No.
Eek.
Oh, Mr. Stevens, do come in. Helen's in the sitting room.
Ew.
Alert, Mrs. No, we're doing empty chairs and empty tables.
No.
Alert, Mrs. Crockett. She has a romantic mind.
Hello there, Helen. Not a minute to spare. You ready? Oh, hello, Mr. Carpenter. Picture starts at 80:50 on the dot, Helen.
80-50?
I'll be ready in a minute. I was just talking to Mr. Carpenter.
Oh, I hope Mr. Carpenter won't think I'm intruding.
Excuse me. I was just going up to my room. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Carpenter.
Have a good time, both of you. Oh, wink.
Thank you, Tom. That was awful.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm just tired of hearing about Mr. Carpenter. Mr. Carpenter.
Sorry. Shh.
You gotta sing the I don't like the way he's attached himself to you and Bobby after all. Nope. I don't like the way he's attached himself to you and Bobby. After all, what do you know about him?
Very little. Shit. I have.
What do you know about him? Very little shit. Very little. Constricted bowels, you see.
Very little. It's true. Let's not stand and talk about it anymore. I'll go up and get my things.
Brave bridge.
Gee, Mr. Carpenter, thanks a lot for helping me with my homework.
That's all there is to it, Bobby, my boy. All you have to remember is first find the common denominator, then subtract.
I gotcha. Thanks, Mr. Carpenter.
Ink.
I'm leaving with Tom, Bobby. You'll go to bed on time now, won't you?
I'll say goodnight again, Mrs. Benson.
Mr. Carpenter,
Yes?
nothing good night.
All right, good night. Night, Bobby.
Bobby, I think it'd be better if you didn't see quite so much of Mr. Carpenter.
Well, gee, why, Mom? He's swell. I like him, and he's awful good at arithmetic. He even helped Professor Barnhart.
I'm sure he's a very nice man. I just think he might prefer to be left alone. Now go to bed, darling.
Why would he want to be left alone?
Don't forget to brush your teeth.
Brave bridge.
Breathe.
Dun, 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 dun.
Come in.
Bobby, do you have a flashlight I might borrow for tonight?
Oh, sure, Mr. Carpenter. It's a real Boy Scout one.
Thank you, Bobby.
Oh,
What?
donation. Thank you, Manly Mutt. Donation of $10 cucumber as Jeff Dunham's Walter.
What the fuck does Walter sound like? I've just forgotten.
Dumbass.
Happy.
Huh, just Gribby. Gribby.
Grubby. Just grubby.
Gribby. Thank you, Bobby.
Why do you want it?
The light in my room went out. See you tomorrow. Better get into bed now.
He says dumbass a lot.
Dumbass.
Gee, I wonder if the batteries are any good. Mr. Carpenter!
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo-doo-doo. Quick transition.
Bobby went to the door and opened it. What he saw down in the hallway puzzled him.
I'm feeling mighty buzzed.
What he saw down the hallway puzzled him. Mr. Carpenter's door was ajar, and a light was pouring out of his room.
Huh. Funny. He said his light went out.
Then Mr. Carpenter came out carrying the flashlight and stealing down the steps like a thief. This was spectacular.
Nope.
This was adventure. Bobby followed Mr. Carpenter, and what he saw couldn't have been a dream. It was too real. It couldn't have been true either. It was too deliciously frightful. Dream or not, it was filled with darkness, stung by staccato flashes from a genuine Boy Scout flashlight. Flashes that activated a giant robot knocking out his guards so that Mr. Carpenter from the boarding house could get to the shed the army had built around the spaceship. And a dream or not, Bobby saw this Mr. Carpenter go into the spaceship, and then a wave of sheer terror swept over Bobby as at last, as he turned and ran wildly away. The way little boys always run in nightmares. Trying so hard and moving so slowly, all the time falling down. It was awful. It was swell. When his mother came home around midnight, Bobby was curled up in the sofa. Instantly, he jumped up and ran and saw her, and to Tom Stevens as they came into the hallway.
Mom,
Mom,
listen.
Mom.
That one hurt for some reason.
Bobby, what are you doing down here at this hour, fully dressed?
Hello, Mr. Stevens. Mom, I had to tell you.
Tell me what?
What's the matter, Bobby?
I followed Mr. Carpenter tonight, right after he left, and gee, where do you think he went? Right into the spaceship.
Now, Bobby, just one
Honest,
minute.
Mom, I saw him. They got a shed built around the spaceship so nobody can get in it, but Mr. Carpenter flashed a signal to that Iron Man up there, and what do you think?
Bobby, have you been dreaming again?
Why, sure.
No, Mom, honest, I haven't. I promise you. I saw it.
Where did you see all this?
Well, I'm telling you, on the lawn, down by at the mall. It's in that place where the soldiers are all out front.
Oh, and where were the soldiers all this time?
Well, that robot fella grabbed him and knocked him out.
Oh, Bobby.
Yeah, and then Mr. Carpenter walked into the shed, and the spaceship opened up, and he walked right inside, and it closed again. Gee, I like Mr. Carpenter, but I'm scared, Mom.
Darling, it was just a bad dream. We'll prove it to you. Tom, will you see if Mr. Carpenter's still up? Ask him to come down here a minute.
Helen?
Yes, Tom?
Helen, he's not there. But look what I found on the carpet.
It can't be a diamond, can it?
I don't know.
It's much too big.
It looks real to me.
Mr. Carpenter's got a lot of them. He gave me a couple of them. Here.
He gave you these?
Oh, I mean, not exactly. I gave him $2.
I don't know. But this whole thing, it just doesn't make sense. Look, Helen, you think it's all right for you to stay here?
There's a strong lock on my door, and Bobby's going to sleep in my room tonight.
Okay.
Upstairs, nightmare boy.
It wasn't a nightmare.
Bobby?
Yeah, Mom.
Bobby, your shoes are soaking wet.
Yeah, the grass on the mall was kind of wet. Good night, all.
Oh, Tom, I wonder.
Dun 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 dun. Klaatu had promised what Professor Barnes had termed a little demonstration. Promised it for the following day at noon. It is now 2 minutes to 12. In the Department of Commerce building, Helen Benson has left her office on her way to lunch. She stands in the corridor waiting for an elevator.
I'm a crowd.
Mrs. Benson,
Mr. Carpenter, what are you doing here?
came to see you, dumbass.
Well, I was just going to lunch. What is it?
I saw Bobby this morning before he went to school.
Yes?
I want to know what he told you.
Oh, Bobby has such an active imagination.
Do you believe what he told you?
Really, Mr. Carpenter? This is where I work, and I only have a short time for lunch today. If you'll excuse me.
I'll go down with you.
If you like, the service elevator is open. Ding! Ding! You'll have to press the button, Mr. Carpenter.
Ding! Ah, that's just dumbass.
It was just 5 seconds before noon on that fateful day when Helen Benson and Mr. Carpenter stepped into that electric elevator. At the same moment, the enormous commerce of our brisky modern world roared and thundered in the street. 5 seconds to noon. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. 1. 0. High noon and silence. All over the world, traffic stopped dead in a million streets. Here and there, a horse-drawn vehicle clopped its melancholy wail along the motionless motors. Bicycles moved before awe and the common desolation made the riders stop on their own free will. Electric clocks stopped on the dot of noon all across the powered world. The machines stood still. Toasters failed to pop, and battle fleets on maneuvers drifted aimlessly on their dead propellers. Joe Smith's milkshake didn't spin, and the humming turbines deep in the hover dam didn't produce current. Mrs. Housewife's washer top stopped in the middle of its cycle, and electric lights went out all over the world. At the conference table in Washington, a hasty council of the armed services was held.
Rabble.
As far as we can tell, dumbasses, all electric power has been cut off all over with a few exceptions. And even these exceptions are remarkable. Hospitals, planes in flight, that sort of thing. I wish I could be more specific, but all communications are out. I can tell you that we are preparing to declare a state of national emergency, but before we start discussing plans, I want a report from Colonel Ryder.
Slowly drifting into strong bed.
Well, listen, man.
All I can report, General, is that robot at the spaceship was discovered to have moved last night. It knocked unconscious the 2 soldiers guarding the entrance to the shed the Army engineers had built around the spaceship, indicating that someone, presumably the spaceman, had wanted to get into the ship for one reason or another.
In all likelihood, to signal for this demonstration of his planet's power. Go on, dumbass.
Oh, that's all, sir.
I don't know. I don't know.
Now, gentlemen, until we've agreed on the desirability of capturing this man alive, we can no longer afford to be soft in this matter. We will get him alive if possible, but we must get him. Is that clear, dumbasses? Dead or alive? Get the dumbass!
Captain Orstone, I'm supposed to be Walter, but I don't remember what he sounds like.
Close enough.
Close enough.
It's kind of gruff.
A little less gruff, more bright, but...
Yeah, just an old man.
right attitude.
All right. Very helpful, very distinct. Thank you.
He's like Statler and Waldorf.
You probably want to go from here, and maybe a little from here, but not from here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, dumbasses.
Like that?
Dumbass!
Like Ryan's Jewish Dracula?
Manly Mutt says, think a grump of Walter Matthews.
I'll look it up later, you guys. I'm not going to get there tonight.
All right. Before we continue with Act 3 of The Day the Earth Stood Still, I want to say hello again to a very pretty, very young lady who still attends high school on the 20th Century Fox lot when she's not making pictures, that is, Gloria Gordon.
Good evening, Mr. Cummings.
Gloria, I want to congratulate you on your splendid performance in 20th Century Fox's Cinescope thriller, Beneath the 12-Mile Reef.
It was a break for me getting to work with Terry Moore, Robert Wagner, and Gilbert Roland. I'm Bob's sister in the picture, you know. It's my first CinemaScope appearance, too.
Those Technicolor deep-sea diving scenes are beautiful as well as exciting. A fine picture like Beneath the 12-Mile Reef can start a career zooming. Gloria, I'm sure it will yours.
And that peaches and cream complexion won't hurt a bit either, Gloria.
Thanks, Mr. Carpenter. You can call mine a Lux complexion if you like, because I use Lux all the time to keep my skin looking just right. I think there's nothing like it.
You know, it's hard to find a movie star who doesn't depend on Lux complexion care. In the bath, too! Lux toilet soap is so gentle, so refreshing. And like all Lever Brothers products, Lux toilet soap is unconditionally guaranteed. If it isn't all we say it is, your money will be returned. We pause now for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network.
Not NBC. The curtain rises on Act 3 of The Day the Earth Stood Still, starring Michael Rennie as Klaatu and Gene Peters as Helen Benson.
All over the world, electric power has been neutralized on the stroke of noon, a token of the spaceman's power and as a warning to the Earth. While they've been trapped between floors in an elevator, the spaceman has told Helen his identity and purpose here.
I've already told you more than I told Professor Barnhart because my life, in a sense, is in your hands. But If I die, a world, your world, may die too.
Yes, I understand.
I thought if you knew the facts, you'd appreciate the importance of my not being caught before the meeting tonight with the world's scientists.
Thank you, Arsenal Roy 2K, Pikachu, whoever can pull it off, Talking Heads once in a lifetime. I don't know that tune.
And it is.
Like Ryan Von
Sucker.
Letting the days go by. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I have a lot. I don't.
come back.
Actually, I have a line. 2.
Really?
Okay. 3. Okay. At the very, very end, you'll get to hear all of that stuff. But yeah.
Okay. What line are we on? I understand. What have I said?
Did you say yes, of course, yet?
I don't think so.
Well, there you
Okay.
go.
Yes, of course. Of course I do. You hold great hope for this meeting, don't you?
I can see no other hope for your planet. If the meeting should fail, then I'm afraid there is no hope.
Oh, the lights. Oh, and we started again.
It must be 12:30.
Yes, exactly.
Ding. Shh.
Where are you going now?
Back to the boarding house. I'll be safe there for the afternoon. I'll be able to keep an eye on Bobby. He's the only other person who knows about me.
No, wait a minute. There is someone else.
How? There can't be. Yes, Chunk?
It's me. I'm Tom.
Oh, shut up.
I didn't say anything. You asked the question.
You raised your hand.
He was with me last night when Bobby told me what he saw.
Oh, wait.
Line.
What is a line?
You're supposed to breathe unhappily. Well, of course, he doesn't know anything definite, and, well, he talked to me first before, but then we can't take a chance, can we?
Can you get in touch with him?
I think so.
I mean, at once now?
I'll try.
You will. You must.
Hello? Hello? Operator, I was connected with my party. Please, hello? Oh, is this Mr. Tom Stevens' office again? We were just Well, I must speak to Mr. Stevens. Yes, this is Mrs. Benson. Benson. Well, when do you expect him in then? Well, will you tell him I called and please not to leave his office? I'm coming down to see him. Yes, it's very important. To you too.
Margaret, this is Mr. Stevens. I just got in. No, Tom voice. Margaret, this is Mr. Stevens. I just got in. Now listen to listen, call the Pentagon. Who? Mrs. Benson, when? Well, never mind. This is more important. Listen, now call the Pentagon and find out who's in charge of this spaceman business. Whoever it is, I want to talk to him.
Tom!
Call me right back and don't take any other calls. Brush them off fast.
Tom, I've been trying to get you all afternoon.
I've got some pretty terrific news about your friend, Mr. Carpenter.
What about him?
The man from the spaceship. I had the diamond or whatever it is checked for 3 different places. Nobody on Earth has ever seen a stone like that. And after what Bobby told us, that's enough for me. Why is it nobody knows about Mr. Carpenter? Why hasn't he got any money?
All right, Tom. It's true.
How do you know?
You've just got to promise me you won't say a word to anybody.
Nobody but the Pentagon.
Please, Tom.
Are you crazy? After what happened today, he's a menace.
You don't understand. You don't realize how important this is.
Important? Of course it's important. And we can do something about it.
We mustn't do anything about it, Tom. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about.
I say he's dangerous. It is our duty to turn him in.
He isn't dangerous. He isn't a menace. He told me what he came here for.
Oh, honey, don't be silly because you happen to like the guy. Do you realize what this'll mean for us? I'll be the biggest man in the country. I'll write my own ticket.
Is that what you're thinking about?
Listen, somebody's gotta get rid of him.
Tom, I'm not gonna let you do it. Tom, don't do it.
Hello, Margaret. Yeah? General Cutler? Good. I'll hold on.
You don't know what you're doing. It isn't just you and Mr. Carpenter.
Mr. Carpenter.
It's everybody. The rest of the world is involved.
I don't give a hang about the rest of the world. I'm in this for me.
Tom!
No, you feel different. Now you'll feel different when you see my picture in the papers.
I feel different right now.
Well, you'll see. You're gonna marry a hero.
I'm not gonna marry anybody, not even a hero.
Helen! Helen! Hello? General Cutler? Yeah. Based in Brown, here. My name is Tom Stevens. With a V. And I have positive information that the spaceman and where he's staying. Yeah. Right. Yeah, sure. He's living at the boardhouse at 1650 Elm Street Northwest. That is correct, General?
Yes, I have all of it now, Mr. Stevens. Thank you very much indeed. I will want to talk to you further, but I haven't the time now. We will act on this.
It's my General Cutler. You didn't get to hear it before because I was somebody else.
Yes, sir.
Have Colonel Ryler deploy all Zone 5 units according to Plan B immediately. Investigate 1615 M Street Northwest for presence of spaceman. Repeat.
Mr. Carpenter?
Right here. Did you see Tom? What did he say?
It's no good. It's too late. I've got a taxi outside. Hurry.
Bridge!
Attention, Zone 5. Attention, Zone 5. Man and a woman observed entering taxi at 6115 M Street. Northwest Bands is probably Cloud 2, alias Carpenter. Establishing both roadblocks according to plan, Baker. And maintain station. Remain radio silent until further orders.
I don't know. I think we may have been seen getting into the taxi.
Where can you go?
I'm sure Barnhart can arrange to hide me until the meeting tonight.
Where is it going to be?
At the ship? Now, look there. Army cars.
Full troops in full gear.
The alarm is out, all right.
It's only a few more blocks to Professor Barnhart's.
Thanks for the sub. I'm worried about Gort. I'm afraid of what he might do if anything should happen to me.
Gort? But he's a robot.
He's a product of centuries of refinement.
But what could he do without you?
There's no limit to what he could do. He could destroy the Earth.
And the city is swarming with patrol cars, hunting you. How can we tell them?
They won't listen. You must listen. If anything happens to me, you must go to Gort. You must give him this message. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Gort, Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Say it!
Gort, Klaatu, Barada...
Nikto!
Gort, Klaatu, Barada, Nikto. Klaatu, Barada, Nikto.
Remember those words.
Klaatu, Barada, Nikto.
Thank you for the sub.
Thank you for the sub!
Attention, Zone 5. Taxi cab moving north on 14th Street and Harvard Street. Man and woman in backseat. License number?
Hot.
0012. H0012. Sector 2, close in. This is your target vehicle.
Taxi. Hey, thanks, option delete.
$10 for what?
Yeah, you can give somebody an accent for that, but now I guess we're all singing.
Yep.
I'll say this last line on this page, and then we'll start singing.
Sounds good.
And then option delete. That gives you plenty of time to pick an accent or impression for somebody.
Ryan.
Or for Ryan.
Didn't have enough lines.
Well, in Manly Mud, it's
Yeah.
just a impression.
Yeah, we're all gonna sing. Okay, we're hemmed in. Driver, we'll get out here. I'm gonna try to run for it. If they get me, you get to Gort now.
There he is! Stop or we'll shoot! Stop or we'll fire!
Pew, 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 pew.
Mr. Carpenter!
Gort, run!
Never mind her! Check the guy!
Klaatu barada nikto, klaatu barada nikto, klaatu barada nikto.
Centuries, ages of superhuman, superplanetary skill, bred intuition and dim power of reason into the enormously complex intelligence inside Gort's metal brain case. When Helen Benson stumbled upon the shed that housed the space machine, the guards were not there. Then she saw them, they were lying inside, the rifles fused and bent. Gort somehow knew that Klaatu was dead. Gort was already on the move. He was on the move toward Helen.
No, no, Gort, no!
The visor of his helmet was opening on that cosmic incandescence. Am I missing a syllable?
Incandescence.
That's right. Incandescence within, seeing the world ruin, aiming impassively at Helen.
Gort, Gort, klaatu, klaatu barada, barada nikto.
Helen Benson fainted. When she returned to consciousness, she was lying on a daze bathed in soft, shadowless light in a chamber vaguely circular of a completely unfamiliar build. He was in the space machine. Across the room stood Gort with his back to her, and lying in front of him on a platform was Klaatu.
Mr. Carpenter.
Gort the machine, the automaton, was applying electrodes to his master, and piercing, whining, maddening sound filled the ship. Klaatu moved. He sat up, stood up.
Mr. Carpenter,
Hello.
I thought you were.
I was. They took me to an emergency hospital at the city jail. Gort broke in and took me back here. This technique can restore life, in some cases, only for a limited time.
How long?
No one can tell. Time enough and more for me to go outside and speak to Professor Barnhart's scientists. I must speak to them. It's what I came for. Gort will put out the ramp. You people of Earth! You men of science! You are here from all over your world. Europe, Asia, representing many nations, many ideas. I am leaving soon. You will forgive me if I speak bluntly. The universe grows smaller every day. Where I come from, we believe there must be security for all, or no one is secure. This does not mean giving up any freedom except the freedom to act irresponsibly. This is the message that I ask you to take back when you return to your native lands. Tell your people and your governments that we have created a race of robots whose function it is to patrol the planets in spaceships and preserve the peace. At the first sign of treachery, they will act automatically. Nothing you have here on Earth can stop them. The penalty for provoking their action is too terrible to risk. Your choice is simple. Live in peace or perish in violence. We shall be waiting for your answer. The decision rests with you. Gort, Berengo.
Dun, 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 dun.
Remember.
I'll remember, Mr. Carpenter.
Chiptick. And as they see him come, so did they see him depart. And the people of Earth pondered upon the warning.
In a moment, our stars will return.
Pepsodent's new flavor.
Pepsodent's new flavor. Pepsodent's new flavor.
Wow.
Pepsodent's new flavor and a clean mouth taste for hours.
Yes, the big news is Pepsodent is a brand new, wonderful flavor. Grown-ups prefer it, but kids, well, kids go crazy for it. And that's not all.
Thank you for the sub, Black and Gold Coyote.
Thanks for this.
Hype!
I've seen the research that proves Pepsodent gives you the cleanest mouth, leading to toothpaste. That's because.
All right, he's singing.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to do
That song.
that
But
song.
no one-
Yeah. Da, 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 da. That's the words don't make any sense with it. Oh God. That's
okay,
because
we'll wait.
Pepsodent General Orange oral detergent cleans not just the surface of the teeth, but around between them, even when you brush can't reach.
Your own personal proof of this Pepsodent's clean mouth taste for hours. So try new Pepsodent White, or if you prefer, chlorophyll. Pepsodent chlorophyll, you'll like.
Pepsodent's new flavor.
Hey, thank you for the read.
Oh, thank you for the raid. What a miss. Oh, hey, Dice Tyrants, how's it going? Just wrapping up the day the earth stood still. Welcome, friends. I said, Pepsodent's new flavor.
Wow.
Pepsodent's new flavor. And a clean mouth taste for hours. Put the Pepsodent in your mouth. Put your teeth in there. Brush it off the lid. It's super clean in there. We're gonna get Pepsodent's new flavor. And now, here's Mr. Cummings with our stars.
And here they are, after 2 of the world performances, Michael Renee and Gene Peters. There's
Yay.
water under the moon. Mike, have you ever seen any UMOs? Oh.
What's a UMO? Right?
Am I ready?
Yeah, I think.
An unidentifiable moving object. Ha ha ha! Yes, I saw several years ago in London.
Oh, you mean during the war?
No, when I was a very young actor, but the flying objects were later identified as ripe tomatoes and eggs and cauliflower.
Well, how about it? Gene, have you seen any flying saucers? Huh?
Oh, actresses aren't interested in such things, Irving. We've heard plenty of the Kyber rifles. After all, who cares about spacemen when you can see Tyrone Power and Michael Rennie in their latest picture, co-starring with Terry Moore?
Or Marilyn Monroe, Betty Grable, and Lauren Bacall in How to Marry a Millionaire.
And both these 20th Century Fox pictures are in Technicolor and CinemaScope, and these exciting new mediums are especially interesting to actresses.
Well, there you stars must be, especially interested in Lux soap for your complexions.
We certainly are. I, for one, started using Lux soap for my complexion years ago, and I'm certainly glad I did.
Now, Irving, what's in store for next week?
Well, Mike, We're going from life in the future back to the charming era of the Roaring Twenties. It's a delightful, amusing story of a multi-millionaire who, for sentimental reasons, prevents an average happy family with $100,000 and almost ruins their lives. It's Has Anybody Seen My Gal? And as the stars of this highly entertaining comedy romance from Universal International Studios, we have two of the most popular stars, young Rock Hudson and Piper Laurie, co-starring with the fine actor Gene Lockhart.
Oh, the whole family will love it. Good night.
Good night.
Good night and happy landings.
Yeah. Thank you for the sub, Rainbow Arch Wizard Matthew. Thank you very much.
Hello there, I'm Art Linkletter. You know, it's pretty hard to improve on a good product, but Lever Brothers has done it. Now, an all-purpose surf is better than ever, and even better than the surf you may have used last year. You see, today's surf is made of new improved formula that gets your clothes so clean they smell clean. When you wash your clothes with surf, you don't need to worry about a stale, sour smell or that unpleasant medicinal odor that some detergents leave, because surf washed clothes have a clean, sunshine freshness. Like they've been swinging on the breeze on a sunny day. They have the same clean freshness whether you dry them indoors or out. Today's surf gets white things really clean without bluing or water softener. And you never have to bleach except for stubborn stains. So if you haven't tried all-purpose surf lately, try it soon. Take it from your old friend Art Linkletter. You'll surf for everything you wash, because when you wash with surf, it smells like sunshine.
Thanks, Art Linkletter. I'd like to say again that when you wash things with surf, they smell like sunshine. And that's important because things aren't really clean unless they smell clean. It's true that all good detergents these days get clothes clean looking, but surf does more. Yes, surf gets clothes so clean they smell like sunshine. And that means they're clean clear through. So, ladies, why don't you prove it to yourselves? Get surf tomorrow and discover what really clean wash is.
Lock theme right here and goes until the end. And done with the story now.
Lever Brothers Company, makers of Lux toilet soap and Lux liquid detergent, invite you to be with us again next Monday evening with the Lux Radio Theater presenting Has Anybody Seen My Gal? Starring Piper Laurie, Rock Hudson, and Gene Lockhart. This is Irving Cummings saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Knowing how to save regularly is sometimes the only difference between success and failure. The savings bond way is the sure way to save. Every year, United States saving bonds grow in value. Interest increases year by year. As your bond investment grows, so does your security. Save for the future by investing in United States savings bonds today. Join the payroll savings plan where you work. Every payday, the amount you name will be set aside automatically, systematically, and invested for you in saving bonds. And remember, savings bonds are better than ever because they return 3% interest compounded semi-annually when held to maturity. What's more, they're fully guaranteed by Uncle Sam against loss, theft, or destruction. There's no safer investment in the world than United States savings bonds. If you're self-employed, save regularly to the bond-a-month plan where you bank. Heard in our cast tonight were Paul Frees as the narrator, Lamont Johnson as Tom, Herb Butterfield as Professor Barnhart, Tudor Owen as Mr. Harley, Billy Gray as Bobby, Edith Evanson as Mrs. Crockett, Tyler McVeigh as Bill Conrad, Robert Griffin, Tom Brown, Fred Shields, Marvin Bryan, Shep Menken, Alastair Duncan, Stephen Roberts, Ottula Nesmith, and Eddie Marr. The Day the Earth Stood Still was based on Harry Bates' story Farewell to the Master, which appeared in Astounding Science Fiction magazine. Our radio play was adapted by Milton Geiger, and our music was composed and directed by Rudy Schrager. Lever Brothers Company guarantees you'll be glad you brought the products you heard about on this program, or you can have your money back. This is your announcer, Ken Carpenter, reminding you to join us again next Monday night to hear Has Anybody Seen My Gal? Starring Rock Hudson, Piper Laurie, and Gene Lockhart. Every Thursday evening, Lever Brothers Company brings you the Lux Video Theater. Consult your local newspaper for time and station. This is the CBS Radio Network.
CBS.
Yes.
Man, that was a lot of bands on that last year.
Yeah. What is the CBS tune? Does CBS have a tune? I mean, obviously.
I'm sure they did at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know what now.
Oh, you know what? You could probably look it up.
We probably could.
A lot of these rare plays are on YouTube.
Yay!
Yay!
Hey, this is one of my favorites. If you guys have never seen this movie, go watch this movie.
Go
It
watch
is
this.
a good story.
The 50s one. The 50s one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
Old
know.
one.
I can't say don't watch the new one because I've never seen it. So
I can say don't watch the new one.
Fair. Awesome.
I mean,
Let's
I
see.
do love Keanu Reeves, though, so if he gets a buck, maybe it's worth it.
Well, put it in the background. Put it in the background while you're like doing something. Like if you're cleaning, just kind of peek at it every once in a while. Get Keanu a little royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who we
Joining
got.
us, guys.
Huh?
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Who are you?
Yeah. For any of you who jumped in on that raid, make sure you join our Discord so you can get stay updated on all of our shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, thank you everybody who joined us. We'll be back next week. Right? That's the last stream of the week. We'll be back on Sunday. 1 o'clock with
Tabletop for Two, where they will be playing Trocarion with all expansions. Complicated board game. If you're a board game fan, definitely tune in. Worker placement, all that good stuff.
Nice.
if I
And the entire schedule will be posted on Discord and all the social medias, so that's good.
That's what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, I'm not angry. You just knew what I was doing.
Oh.
Wait, so we're connected? I got you.
Thank you, Born.
All right, we are going to raid our streaming friend Catherine Lynn,
Yay! Catherine
playing
Lynn
Luigi's
and...
Mansion 3.
Wait, Chunk has a...
Say Luigi?
I'm waving.
Oh, you're waving. Okay.
I'm waving goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.